If you are over 80 and you feel like your hair has been working against you, quietly adding years to your face every single morning, I need you to stay right here. Because what I am about to share changes everything about how you see your hair and yourself. I research worst style and beauty mistakes and youth-boosting fixes for mature women, so you get simple, proven transformations that work instantly. Today we are perfecting 5 haircuts that make older women look instantly younger after 80. And by part 3, you will want to pause and look in the mirror. I mean it. We are covering a soft feathered pixie, a face-framing layered bob, a wispy textured crop, a rounded silver shag, and a swept-back voluminous style. One of these will lift your face in a way no cream ever could. And the very first one? Most women over 80 have never even considered it. Let's go. 1. The soft feathered pixie. Let's talk about a cut that has been quietly transforming women in their 80s. And almost nobody is recommending it to you. That is the soft feathered pixie, and it might be the most age-reversing haircut available to you right now. Here is what is happening to your hair that nobody explains honestly. After 80, hair density drops significantly at the crown and along the sides. Volume disappears. Weight increases. And most traditional short cuts, the tight perms, the flat crops, the blunt bobs people push on older women, all of them press your hair down and press your face down with it. That drag adds years. Real visible years. The soft feathered pixie works because it does the exact opposite. It uses light, airy layers feathered outward at the sides and crown to create the illusion of fullness and lift. Those feathered pieces frame your temples, soften your jawline, and draw attention directly to your eyes. And honestly, the moment I saw this cut on real women over 80, I understood why stylists who specialize in mature hair will not stop talking about it. Your bone structure already does half the work here. The feathering just gives it permission to show. If you are still wearing a tight crop with no texture or a blunt short cut that sits flat to your head, swap it for a soft feathered pixie with movement at the crown. The difference on your face is immediate and startling in the best possible way. The key insight most women miss is this. It is not the length that ages you. It is the absence of lift. A feathered pixie creates lift even when the hair is short, and lift is what makes a face read as refreshed rather than tired. To keep your feathered pixie at its best, ask your stylist for a light trim every 6 to 7 weeks specifically to maintain the feathering at the temples and crown. Those wispy pieces are where all the magic lives, and they are the first to lose their shape if you wait too long. This is the one that made a woman in her late 80s stop mid-conversation and ask me what had changed. Nothing changed. She just finally had a cut that was working with her face instead of against it. Now, Part 2 covers a haircut that is perfect if you prefer slightly more length. And it does something remarkable for the jawline that most women over 80 have never experienced. You need to see this one. 2. The face-framing layered bob. Have you ever wondered why the same bob cut looks effortlessly elegant on one woman, and somehow heavy and drooping on another? The answer is not the bob itself. It is whether or not the bob has been designed specifically for your face. Here is the truth that most stylists will not take the time to tell you. After 80, the jawline softens and the area just beneath the cheekbones loses definition. A blunt one-length bob sitting at the chin grabs all of that softness and makes it the first thing anyone sees. It is not the jaw that is the problem. It is the frame. And the wrong frame ages you more than any wrinkle. The face-framing layered bob changes everything. This version sits just below the ear, not at the chin, and uses soft layers that sweep forward around the face. Those forward-moving pieces catch the light, frame the cheekbones, and create a gentle lift around the eye area. The result is that your eyes immediately look brighter and more open, and your whole expression reads younger and more vibrant. This one is everything. Truly. The difference between a blunt chin bob and a face-framing layered bob below the ear is not subtle. If you have been wearing a blunt bob for years and wondering why it always looks a little tired, that slight adjustment in length combined with soft sweeping layers toward the face is your answer. If you are currently wearing a blunt jaw-length bob, swap it for a layered bob that ends just below the ear, with soft pieces cut to sweep forward around the cheekbones and temples. If you are wearing your hair pulled straight back, swap it for this shape, and allow those forward pieces to fall naturally. Those two changes together will shift where your eye travels when someone looks at your face. Maintaining this cut is simple but specific. Ask your stylist to refresh the forward framing layers every 7 to 8 weeks, and to keep the back very slightly shorter than the sides to maintain the natural lift at the crown. What makes this cut so powerful for women after 80 is something a stylist once told me that I never forgot. She said layers are not just texture, they are a redirecting tool. They redirect attention to your best features. And your eyes and cheekbones are your best features, always. Part 3 is waiting for you. And it features a cut that creates the most remarkable visual texture and softness I have ever seen on women in their 80s. If you think short hair cannot look lush, this next one will genuinely surprise you. 3. The wispy textured crop. Most women over 80 have been told to keep their hair neat, controlled, and tidy. And that advice, as well-meaning as it was, might be the single biggest reason your hair looks older than it needs to. The wispy textured crop is built on the opposite principle. It is a shortcut with deliberate, soft, airy pieces at the front hairline and crown that are allowed to move. Not messy, not unkempt, just alive. And hair that looks alive makes the woman wearing it look alive too. Here is why the overly controlled look works against you after 80. When hair is set, sprayed, or pressed into perfect stillness, every eye in the room goes straight to the rigidity of the style. And rigidity reads as effort, and effort reads as age. The wispy textured crop removes that rigidity and replaces it with soft natural movement that makes your face look effortless and current. The wispy textured crop keeps the sides close and neat, so it is still polished, but it allows the top and front hairline to have soft, wispy, open pieces that frame the forehead gently. Those front pieces pull the eye upward. When the eye travels up, the face reads as lifted, and a lifted face reads as younger. That is the mechanics of it. Simple, powerful, and completely overlooked for women after 80. Honestly, I wish someone had whispered this to every woman the moment she turned 80. Because this is the cut that looks like you woke up effortlessly beautiful, rather than like you spent 20 minutes trying to control something that wanted to move. If you are currently wearing a heavily sprayed or set style that does not move, swap it for a wispy textured crop and ask your stylist to specifically point cut the front pieces to create softness and movement at the hairline. If you are wearing a tight cropped cut with no texture whatsoever, this swap to a wispy crop with deliberate light pieces at the crown and forehead will be like turning a light on behind your face. To maintain the wispiness, use only a tiny amount of a light hold cream or balm through the front pieces after washing. Nothing heavy, nothing that sets. The goal is definition with movement, not control. One small adjustment in your product routine preserves the entire effect. This is the cut that made a woman I know, 83 years old, get stopped in her favorite restaurant by the woman at the next table who asked for the name of her stylist. Yes, that simple. Part 4 brings something I genuinely love for women with silver and gray hair. A cut that uses the natural texture of mature hair as an asset rather than a problem. If you have ever felt like your changing hair texture was working against you, Part 4 is written specifically for you. For the rounded silver shag. There is a specific kind of hair texture that develops after 80 that most stylists do not know what to do with. It becomes slightly coarser at the top, finer along the sides, and it does not quite behave the way it did at 60 or even 70. Most women over 80 have learned to fight that texture. The rounded silver shag is designed to work with it instead. And working with it is what makes the difference between hair that looks tired and hair that looks magnificent. The rounded silver shag is a medium-length cut that ends just below the ear with soft layers throughout, and a slightly rounded shape that wraps around the face. The layers are not sharp or dramatic. They are soft, close together, and designed to embrace the natural coarser texture of mature hair. That coarser texture, when it is cut into a shag structure, creates beautiful natural volume that no product can replicate. Your hair does the work. You barely have to touch it. The rounded shape at the sides and back is what sets this apart from every other cut. That gentle rounding lifts the perception of the entire lower face. It softens the jaw, creates visual balance, and frames the face in a way that is both modern and elegant. Round is not frumpy. Round, when it is deliberate and well executed, is stunning. If you have been wearing your hair in a flat, unshaped cut that does nothing to work with its natural post-80 texture, swap it for a rounded silver shag with soft internal layers. If your current cut fights your hair's natural coarseness by trying to smooth it out completely, swap that approach for a shag structure that celebrates the texture instead. You will be genuinely shocked at how much volume and life is already in your hair waiting to be released. For upkeep, the rounded silver shag holds its shape beautifully for 6 to 8 weeks, but ask your stylist to maintain the rounded perimeter every visit without changing the overall length. That rounding is load-bearing. It is what creates the lift. Do not let it grow out into a blunt line. Here is what I know for certain after everything I have researched about hair after 80. Your natural silver and gray tones are not a flaw to minimize. They are an asset to frame. And the rounded silver shag frames them like nothing else I have seen. Part 5 is the one that surprises people most, because it works entirely differently from every other cut in this video. If you have more hair than you think, and just need it positioned correctly, Part 5 will stop you mid-sentence. Keep watching. 5. The swept-back voluminous style. Here is something nobody tells women over 80 about their hair. The problem is almost never the amount of hair you have. It is where the visual weight of your hair is sitting. And for most women in their 80s, that weight has drifted down, hanging flat against the sides of the head, adding heaviness to the lower face, and pulling everything south. The swept-back voluminous style repositions all of that weight upward. And upward is where youth lives. This is not a complicated style. It is a cut combined with a direction. The swept-back voluminous style uses soft internal layers cut specifically to direct the hair upward and backward at the crown, with the sides swept cleanly back away from the face, and secured loosely behind the ears or gathered softly at the back. The result is a crown that rises gently and a face that is completely open and unobstructed from forehead to jaw. When your face is unobstructed, your features read differently. Your eyes have room. Your forehead looks broader and brighter. Your cheekbones, those beautiful cheekbones that have only become more elegant with age, sit at the center of attention where they belong. If you are currently wearing your hair flat and forward around your face, swap it for a swept-back approach that opens up the forehead and temples completely. If your crown sits flat with no lift and the sides fall heavy, ask your stylist for internal uplift layers cut at the crown. Layers that are pointed upward rather than downward. Then sweep the sides back. That single directional shift changes your silhouette entirely. The maintenance for a swept-back voluminous style is satisfyingly simple. A light volumizing mousse applied to damp hair at the roots before your regular drying routine builds the lift from the inside out. No excessive product, no heavy hold, just root support that keeps the crown raised throughout your day. I want to say something to you before this video ends. You have earned every year that shows on your face. Your hair should honor that, not apologize for it. These 5 cuts are not tricks. They are a recalibration. A decision to let your appearance reflect the woman you actually are rather than the one the wrong cut has been presenting to the world. Your natural elegance was never the issue. The frame was. And now you know how to change the frame. You just learned 5 haircuts that genuinely reshape how your face reads to the world after 80. The soft feathered pixie, the face framing layered bob, the wispy textured crop, the rounded silver shag, and the swept-back voluminous style. Most women spend years searching for this and never find it. You found it today. You did not just watch a video. You changed how you will look the next time you walk into a salon. Tell me in the comments, which of these 5 cuts speaks to you the most, and which one are you booking first? I read every single one. Next time, we are uncovering the one hair color mistake that adds a decade to your face after 70. And the fix is simpler than you imagine. Like this video, subscribe to Timeless Wisdom Path, and I will see you in the next one.